Well, starting off with Southwest Florida's most powerful radar, a few showers down in Collier County, but most of these are weakening at the moment. At a nice shower by Vanderbilt Beach that's falling apart, and then most of the heavy stuff now pushing over into the Everglades. Looking at the big picture, all dry right now from Lee County up to Charlotte, DeSoto, and then back over into Highlands and Glades as well. So for now, things are relatively tame, but there will be some more thunderstorms developing later this afternoon. You can see on your future track, most of this action does move to the other side of the state, but with that daytime heating, we can't rule out a few isolated storms breaking out as we head later on towards the afternoon and the evening hours as well. Taking a closer look at the forecast, 92 today here in Fort Myers. Isolated storms in the forecast. Otherwise, just a few clouds around for the rest of your day. In the tropics right now, the Atlantic, at least the tropical Atlantic, is quiet. But we are watching one disturbance over in the Western Caribbean. Take a look. Strong tropical wave pushing into Central America and plenty of thunderstorms with this, by the way. Honestly, the most active tropical wave thunderstorm-wise I've seen so far this hurricane season. Probably a sign that things are beginning to flip more active across the basin. Either way, this is going to be fighting a lot of land over the next couple of days, but the National Hurricane Center does give this a low 20% chance of becoming a depression as it moves into the southwestern Gulf and eventually up towards northern Mexico and Texas heading towards this weekend. Water temperatures in the Gulf certainly warm enough, mid to upper 80s, even some 90s closer to the coast, so there's plenty of fuel for this to work with. The big question is, does it have enough time? Computer models do seem to signal, though, that this may try to briefly spin up towards a depression before moving into northern Mexico or southern Texas heading into this weekend. Either way, much needed rain on the way for parts of the Rio Grande Valley. But like I was saying, that wave, a lot more thunderstorm activity than we've seen so far this season, and that may be a sign that things are beginning to flip active in the Atlantic. We've been dealing with this suppressed phase over the past month or so, keeping things really quiet. Meanwhile, the hurricanes have been raging in the eastern Pacific, but now computer models are signaling that things are going to change and that the Atlantic is going to become more favorable over the next few weeks. And this is just in time for the peak of hurricane season. So don't be surprised if we begin to see things ramping up across the basin over the next few weeks. You can see over Africa this afternoon, definitely trending a lot more active. Lots of thunderstorms. You can see strong tropical wave leaving Africa today. And then behind it, the waves are lined up. And eventually, as we head towards the end of August and into September, these tropical waves are going to be what we're going to have to watch. These are the seeds of what eventually becomes most hurricanes each and every year. So my eyes are going to be peeled out into the tropical Atlantic over the next several weeks. Nothing imminent, but here at the Weather Authority, we'll be watching closely. Either way, next name on the list is Danielle. We'll be watching the tropics throughout the peak of hurricane season. And back home in Southwest Florida right now, it's just typical August weather. Isolated storms for your Wednesday. But then we're going to be talking about scattered showers and storms pretty much each and every day over the next week or so, with those high temperatures in the 90s and lows in the 70s.